So if this is the case, obviously the first hit is going to be able to give you 390% damage, right? Because it's going to last all the way through the 6 ticks. In fact, actually, just to make it a little bit more clear, I think I'm gonna delete this. I'm gonna put in another box over here so that we have 6, and then we can actually decide. So 1 proc here, 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 and each one, sorry, I should do it this way, and then each one actually does 6 hits. So 1 out of 6 is going to proc. This one, the first one, is going to give you the full amount, which is 390% damage. And then the second one is going to give you 5/6 of the total amount. So it's going to be equals to this one divided times, I guess, times 5 divided by 6. And then this one is going to give you even lesser, which is equals to this one times 4 divided by 6. And then this one is going to give you equal to this one times 3 divided by 6. Copy, paste. The amount of damage is going to be distributed this way towards the end of the 6 seconds. Okay, so let's see, what does this mean? This means that if I were to attack 36 times, right, 36 times, that means I'm attacking 7 seconds. So if I put here 7, I should be doing, wait, what, 35 hits? 5 attack speed for 5. Oh, right. Okay, so then the proc is going to be 7. Oh, so it's actually 5 hits. Oops, wrong maths. It's actually 5 hits for every section, and then we have 1 proc out of the 5. Yeah, this one is still correct, but this whole thing is going to shift over here, and this is going to be equals to this one. So this is what will happen in the case of 7 seconds. So the starting is always going to be the same, but this part is going to start decaying. Now if my status chance is higher, let's say 40%, then each one is going to do 2. And when that happens, all these values are going to increase double as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with an equation for anything less than 6 seconds. And anything more than 6 seconds, we're going to use something else to calculate as well. Okay, something that I realized that I did wrong was I took from here to here for 5 seconds, which you shouldn't. You should take the last 5 seconds and put it over here. That means the first proc that you do did not get to finish, simply because we don't have up to 6 seconds. So it's lacking by another 65%. And then another thing that I realized is that throughout, you actually lose out about 1/6 of the damage. And this 1/6 is 1/6 of its original, which is the 390%. If I were to write an equation for this part, is going to be 65, right, plus 65 again, to the power of, sorry, times 2, I guess, times 2 plus 65 again times 3 plus 65 again, oops, times 4. So we have 1, 2, right? We still have one more, plus 65 times 5. In a weird way, this one you can put times 1 as well. And this is the equation for the amount of, how do I say, the total percentage that I get from here all the way over here. Now if I pull out all the 65, we can actually simplify this into equals to 65 times bracket 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. So let's just double check, equal sum. If we were to drag this entire thing, do we get 975? We do. Okay, so this equation works for this. Okay, I think I got it. So let's move this over here. The first case is when this last 6 hits, So it's going to be the exact same thing pretty much, but this time we include one that managed to finish, which is this 390. So it's going to be this whole thing. Copy. I'm gonna put it over here, and we're gonna add another one, which is plus 6. Okay, so this is if there is 6 more hits left. This is when there's 5 more hits left. And let's make another one, which is when there is 4 more hits left. Another one where there is 3 more hits left. And then another one which is when there is 2 more hits left. And finally when there is only 1 hit left, which should give me exactly 65. So in a way, these are the multipliers depending on how many hits left. All we have to do is find out how many hits is left. So let's say in this case we have 7 seconds, right? If we divide this 7 seconds by 6, we have 1.16. Okay, if I only want the decimals, so I'm gonna put like equals to, I don't know, this one minus off bracket round down, yeah, round down this value. Okay, and then I will get the decimals only. Now these decimals is the amount that could finish completely at 390%. So first we need to find out how many hits is it involved in this amount. So we're going to take equals to this amount multiplied by 6, which is 1. Okay, and it makes sense because it's only 7. So then we know that there is 1 hit equals to 1 hit. So it's 1 times the 390%, okay, damage. And then the rest is going to have this amount. Why? Because the remaining is actually equals to 1 times 6. So there are 6 hit. If there is 6 hit, then it's going to give you 1,365. So if you add them up together and then you divide them, you can actually find the average. Oh, this is hard. Okay, I'm actually gonna duplicate this because the other one is just more of a rough sketch of thinking what I'm gonna do, and then later on we're gonna delete it. So over at the copy, we're gonna actually do the more serious one. So we are going to delete all of this. All right. Also this as well. Okay, these are all the variables that is needed. We are going to, I guess we'll put it as this for now. And then right now, let's calculate the total attack. This is going to be equals to this one multiplied by time. Okay, and this is something that is going to be generated. I'm going to put it over there. This is the standard formula. I'm going to put it all the way up here because it's not really going to be used that much. Now the key here is actually these numbers. So these are the key numbers. So I'm going to copy this again. Put it over here. Okay, actually I feel like I don't need these as representative. In fact, I think I'm going to move this over here like this. Okay, this is probably the most important one. This value, 1.365k% damage, is the most important one. These only happens if you don't have enough time. I guess another really important value is going to be the 390, was it? Okay, so what I'm actually proposing to do is that we know that the last 6 seconds of any given duration that you've been fighting will have to undergo a decay. You know, over time it just gets lesser and lesser, and that decay is going to be this amount if you proc once per second. So depending on how many times you proc per second, you just take this amount times that number of times, and that will give you the ratio or the percentage or multiplier that you get within that whole 6 seconds. Okay, so right now the first thing I need to do is to find out how many of a 6 second can we get from the time that we allocated. So in this case it's 7 seconds, so it'll be equals to that 7 seconds, right? And then we're going to divide that by 6. And then we find that we have 1.66 something. So in other words, let's say number of full 6 seconds, right? So you have 1 times something something. Now I don't really want the decimal, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the answer, we're going to round it down, bracket this whole thing. Okay, and we have 1. Now remaining, so remaining is going to be whatever that is round down, so it's going to be equals to the original, which is 7 divided by 6, right, this whole entire thing, and we are going to minus off the thing that we round down. Alright, so this is the remaining. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to find out how many of the number of 6s that we have that could complete a full 6 proc. So in this case, the last one is not going to be taken into account, so it's going to be equals to, or should I, okay, I need to give it a name first. So we're going to say, I'm going to put here full 390, which pretty much stands for a full 390% multiplier that you get. And this is going to be equals to this value minus 1. So in the event that there is full 6, we're going to put equals to, we're going to put like multiplier. It's going to be equal, I'm going to put a full in front as well. It's going to be equal to this value, equal to the number that there is multiplied by this value, which is sadly 0 as well. So this means that if I were to put here, let's say 20, right, then we should have 2. Why do I have a negative remaining? I'm confused. Oh, because this number is supposed to be this value. Right, there you go. Okay, so in this case, we have 2 fulls. That means we have a total of, for 2 sections, we have a total of 4.68 multiplier. Okay, next thing I want to put in is full hits. So the full hits that we have is going to be this 2, so equals to this 2 multiplied by 6. So we have 12 hits that's going to do the full burst of what the electrical proc can give you, which is 390% damage, and that will give you a total of this amount of damage, which is 4,680 damage. Now I realize something, that the remaining is also something that is going to be added into the full damage. So this means that this one has to be changed. It has to be equals to this one divided by 6 instead. And then we have this value, you're going to get this much. Full hits is going to be equals to, what is this again? This value divided by, times 6. Okay, so the number of hits that is taken into account. And then finally, we have one full section of 6 hit that is going to undergo this value. So this is a very important value to have. It's going to undergo this value. So we just need to have, I'm going to put last 6 multiplier, and it's going to be equals to this value, right? So therefore, the total damage that you have done, or I feel like putting multiplier here is not that accurate. It's supposed to be damage, but because we're playing with 100, technically you can actually use this as the multiplier as well. So this one is 54.6% multiplier. This is 13.65 multiplier, right? So then the total is going to be equals to total is going to be equals to this one plus this one. So as a summary, if I were to attack for 20 seconds, which consists of 100 hits, right? I will be doing, just based off the amount that the status from electric that is going to give you, I'll be doing 6,825% damage at a status chance of 20% at attack speed of 5. So now this is the total, but if we want to come up with a multiplier for the average, we now need to do is, let's say put average, we now need to just take equals to this value divided by the number of hits that we have, like that. So on average, I'm actually just doing 68.25% damage. So now anything that is below 6 seconds, I believe we have to use these values instead. So let's say if I were to put, I don't know, let's say 4 seconds, right? So we can no longer rely on this method of doing. This is only when it is more than 6 seconds or equal to 6 seconds. But let's say we have 4 seconds left, then we're gonna take this as the total multiplier that we do, and we're gonna divide it by the number of hits. So in this case, it's gonna be equals to this value divided by 20. And this is the multiplier that you'll be getting per hit. So let me work the other way around to try and explain to you why is it this value. Okay, at 20% in 20 hits, this means that there is a very likely chance that out of the 20 hits, you will be proccing 4 times. Does that make sense? Because 20%, if you were to take out of 20, you're gonna get 4. Okay, so you're gonna get 4 electrical proc. Each proc, right, the first proc, if we were to divide it and spread it out, so let's say 20, so it's like 10, 10, so let's do 5 each. I'm just explaining to you how the system works, at least for right now. So you have 5 hits, 5 hits, 5 hits, where it all comes down together to 20. Now a 20% out of 5 hits is 1, so this means roughly on average, every 5 hits you're gonna do one, one proc. So on the first proc, it can tick only 4 times, right? The first tick, second tick, and then on the 4th tick, it stops because there are no, assuming that the enemy is already dead. So the total amount of damage you do can only last up to 4 ticks. So if you look back over here, where we first started all these things, the first tick, if you only can tick once, you're only gonna do 65. If you can tick twice, you only do 130. 3 times and 4 times, so you only do 260%, right? So if you come back over here, this guy is going to do 260%. The next guy over here is going to do 195. Oh my god, I keep alternate tapping. 195, and the guy next to it is going to do 130. 130, and finally the last one is only gonna have that extra 65 damage. If you add all this up, equal sum, you have done an extra 650% or 650 damage. So this is where this value comes by. And then if you take that total amount of damage that you do, divide by the total number of hits, we then have an average of how much electrical proc actually gave you when you do only 4 seconds of electrical procs with, 20% status chance with an attack speed of 5. Okay, I feel like we have already solved this issue here. I feel like this tab's getting a little bit too long. I might simplify the names as well, because technically as a general user, you're probably not going to click into it. You're only going to click into it if you want to see how it works. So the feedback that I kind of want from you guys is really that what you think of the entire process. Does it make sense to you, or do you feel like you have a different way of doing it? Thank you very much for watching. I hope this is helpful, and hopefully by tomorrow we will have the electrical multiplier available for us right over here. So then we only have a few others to tackle. Bye bye.